So if you look at the first picture, that was taken Wednesday, November 23rd. This was on my left leg. If you look above the second screw on the lower set of pins, if you look above the second screw, you'll see that there's a break just above the talus. Um, I first noticed that on November 22nd, um, in the evening, November 22nd, 2022, um, after my physiotherapy session. I'm sorry, as far as the pain is concerned, I didn't notice the pain like directly after the physiotherapy session, but maybe maybe a couple hours after the physiotherapy session. I'm not sure if the physiotherapy session is what caused it, but I'm really not doing much to cause the fracture at the pin site. If we look at the second slide now, again, this was taken Wednesday night, November 23rd. Was it 23rd? Let me look at the thing here. 23rd at the hospital. Again, if you look at the left tibia above the second screw at the bottom, you'll see that there's a break. Looks like a stress break that it broke right above the screw. Like it looks like there wasn't enough bone. Essentially, it looks like there was not enough support around the bone, so it essentially broke. Um, so that's looks, the cause of it. As we go to the third slide, hold on. So we're looking at the third slide right now. My surgery was on Thanksgiving, November 24th, 2022. It's kind of ironic, an occasion for Thanksgiving. I was basically given two options. Option one is that we continue the lengthening. What we would do is we would put pins where the fracture point is. We would That would temporarily secure it in place. We would resume lengthening, and then once I'm done with lengthening, the pins would be removed, and then it would be plated. Option two, um, option one, that would require new holes to be drilled for the fixators to go into. And I already had one tibia already fail on me once because of this issue. So I didn't want to get another failure again. So I didn't want to take that risk. The tibia already failed for some reason because of the stress fracture. So the second option was to remove the fixators and then just secure the intramedullary nails and just plate it. That's the safer option, less surgery. I got nearly 5 centimeters of lengthening on the right side, as you'll see in the last slide, and maybe 4.5 or 4.7 or something on the left. I couldn't lengthen the left anymore because the tibia was, the segment was detached from the tibia. So I couldn't really. It was a few millimeters of discrepancy, as you can see bilaterally. I don't think it's noticeable. But I took the safer option. As we go to the fourth, as we go to the fourth slide, you can see how much I lengthened on the tibia. The right side is nearly 5 centimeters. The left side is a little less. As we look at the fifth slide, this is my left tibia from oblique view. And then the sixth slide, my right tibia from oblique view. You can see the callus formation is pretty good on both the left and the right. You can see the bone is, forming a little bit. In the eighth slide, you can see the plate that was put um, on the distal end of the tibia, just above the talus, and just below the intermedullary nail, actually. Um, there's a bunch of lighter screws that go into the tibia. Um, this is not supposed to be weight bearing. That's what makes it more difficult because you're supposed to be exercising and stuff. Um, you're supposed to be exercising and stuff, but like you can't bear weight. So I might have to sacrifice, some of my physiotherapy for bone healing. And then we look at the ninth slide. I drew a little picture. If you look on the far right of the screen, you'll see a scale that's 5 centimeters. The transfer to red mark to the right tibia, that's 5 centimeters. You can see I gained nearly 5 centimeters on the right and maybe 4.5. The right tibia is tilted a little bit, so that throws it off. Maybe 4.5 or 4.7 on the left. So that's where I am right now. It's November 26, 2022. I want to have to make a decision whether to stay in Turkey for another month. I was planning here on staying here 3 months or come back to the States. The advantage to the States is I have more resources there available to me for healing and everything. The food's better. I don't have to order on Getter all the time. I just have more resources there and it's more comfortable. But um, I do have a lot of swelling, especially on my left ankle from the fracture. I would like to get these pin sites healed up, these pin sites sealed up and healed up before I go. I'm taking an antibiotic right now, so I'm not sure if I'm going to wait the additional month or not before I go back. I was supposed to leave December 29th, and it's November 26th right now, so I have about another month. If I was to book a new plane ticket, it'd be really expensive because it's short notice. Again, this is showing the lengthening that I achieved. I got 5 centimeters on the right, and maybe 4.5 on the left. Um, also wanted to mention um, another reason I stopped lengthening. In addition, the reason I did not restart up lengthening was one, yeah, the additional surgery, the additional risk. I don't want my bone splitting a second time, and also, um, and also, um, what was I going to say? Well, also, I was developing ballerina foot, actually. Um, I was reaching my limit, around 4. Right before this happened, my feet were coming off the ground, or my heels were coming off the ground already. So that was another reason I decided all those things put together. Um, I decided, not to resume lengthening.